Hello peeps, this is Vaping with an Acquired Brain Injury. I do go by another name, but this is my tag name when I'm on YouTube and stuff like that. Now I've been getting into the building the alien coils and micro aliens. Now, look, I done a fused on a 26 gauge, just the twin, the parallel wires, and I found that it performs just like a fused Clapton. It spits like buggery. So, but what I noticed with the micro Claptons is when you're using these as a staged heating wire, you don't get any spit back. What I'm doing is the Clapton section, which is you're taking your 32 gauge and your 36 gauge, you're making a Clapton, then you're Claptoning in that one onto 28 gauge. Now what I'm doing is 5 wraps of the micro Clapton, 4 wraps of the Clapton section. 5 wraps of the alien and 4 wraps of the Clapton section. And it ohms out roughly 0.15 dual coil. The flavour is absolutely astonishing, and not only that, the coils look lovely. But I've got one here. Blah blah blah. I installed it in the Avocado 24, and as you can see, she fits in there sweet as a nut, and the performance is just phenomenal. It really is. The flavour you get off it is just outstanding. One of the best coils I've installed in here, and even at 0.15. Stable 0.15, and I'm going to ramp him up to 100 watts. And this is a Dovpo Twisted Messes. The chip in it, I don't know who made the chip, but the chip is flawless. It's outstanding. This is the other the other Dovpo Twisted Messes. Where the finish came off, I took it off and I decided to customize this one. Now this one I keep dropping and I keep smashing all the filler and everything else, but the chip is flawless. It doesn't matter what I drop this thing on, the chip survives. I dropped it on concrete, I dropped it on marble floors, tiles, everything. I don't think I've ever dropped this thing on a carpet. Whenever I drop this one on, you can bet your life that it's a solid floor, and it's from a height of roughly 3'6" or a yard. Okay, and it just goes on and on and on and on. I've had this one over a year now, and it's just a joy to use. Reliable, it's accurate, and the ramp up time is a bit delayed on this. 100 watts, well, not really. When they get going though, you can see with the no, I'm in my new apartment and there's fucking sensors everywhere on the ceilings and God knows what else. There's heat sensors, there's smoke detectors, and you know what happens with these. They set smoke detectors off. And this is what would they call it? Sheltered housing. Okay. I would have been made homeless before Christmas, but a charity for the homeless actually found me this place, and it's unfurnished at the moment, and I'm starting to get myself back on my feet as such, and it's going to be a struggle, but I'll get there. But what was I saying? It doesn't matter. Look, I have an acquired brain injury, and sometimes I'll be talking about something, then I'll forget what I'm talking about. So I apologise. So anyway, this is the Claptonception with the micro alien stage eating, and they just perform so well. It's absolutely superb vape. The flavour you get off it is just phenomenal. And I think I've got one installed. Oh, it's in the other room, as always. I've got another one installed in the Limitless Plus, and that is an outstanding tank. The best tanks Limitless have made to date. Combo. What? This wasn't Limitless, this was iJoy. Okay, but Limitless and iJoy have made some of the best tanks. But I still go back to the Avocado 24. For one, it's easy to build on. Two, you get great flavour. Three, it's easy to wick down into those holes, and I like to wick all the way down to the bottom. And it wicks up like a dream. So I don't have to keep using it like this, okay? I don't use that gravity method, which is stupid in my opinion. I use capillary action. As you can see, it's flawless. What else have I got here? Oh, this is the a lovely coil, by the way. It's the Helter Skelter. What it is a Claptonception coil, and I spaced it with a 28 gauge all the way down. Then I dressed that 28 gauge with 0.5 ribbon wire. And I'm out of juice. As you can see, I'm running my wicks down to the bottom of the tank. Now I'm out of juice, okay? This tank is absolutely empty. And look, here's the fill port here. I can tip this here, and as you can see, there's nothing falling out of that fill port. That is empty. And this is why I say I always use capillary action. This is why I never have to tilt my tanks. And I'll just show you. This is a great thing about using capillary action with these Jenny style tanks, and I wish everybody else would do that method, because they'd get more enjoyment. They wouldn't have to keep worrying about soaking up both sides of the wick, you know, because your wicks are always in liquid. But see, it's 100 watts. This is a 0.26. And this is there's a lot of wire on that 26 gauge. There really is. There's a micro Clapton on that 26 gauge plus 28 gauge plus one strand of 0.5 ribbon wire. That is a lot of wire on one single strand of wire. And it's a bit of a ramp up time on there, as you can see. Haven't had a vape off this in a while, so it might be dry. No, it's not dry at all. So as you can see, you do not need to cut the wicks off short to make these perform really well. You can have these wicks going straight down to the. You can. The great thing is you can vape a tank dry, literally dry, and even dry out all the coils as you go. Right? You know, once your tank's empty and you've got saturated wicks, you can just carry on vaping until your wicks are dry. But the great thing is, especially on this combo, if you wanted to drop out the deck and switch decks, you don't have to go to the trouble of emptying stuff, or, you know, you've got a dry tank. You know, you can start from scratch. Now it's starting to get dry. So those wicks they're spent, but you can see they're still clean. Just a couple of drops. This is Pony. It's lovely. It's if you've tried wick liquor, the Carnival, it tastes exactly the same. So we just gotta just painted that one on there. And you can hear that there's no spitting. This is a great thing about these clapped inceptions and these ribbon wire builds. There is no spit back. You just get a very nice flavorful vape. I don't want to set the alarm off this late, and I don't want to freak people out. What else have we got? I've got a simple build in the this is actually it's a lovely tank. It's a lovely looking tank. It performs really well. You got its bottom airflow round here. You got a top airflow, and this is the limitless gold, and it performs so well. I do not like the deck. I can't get on with these decks. They're not easy to build on. But saying that, that's the only con about this. Everything else is plus plus plus. You've even got a plug, so you don't lose any. You know, if you accidentally drop your tank down. But it performs so well. The conductivity is spot on, and as you can see, the size of that. You could fit that on the mech mod, not a problem. It performs. It's a great performer. It's a lovely. The flavor is amazing. I was surprised because it's very airy with that bottom airflow, and you can't close that off. But the flavor is just astonishing for what it is. It's really good. I haven't seen any reviews on this one, but I dare say everybody is actually saying the same thing about the flavor you can get off this tank. Not only that, the aesthetics of this tank is a lovely looking tank. Some people might give out about the drip tip, it's big, and it sits on there. It's not, it's not good. You need bigger O-rings, but that being said, now this is another dry tank, as you can see. All my tanks are dry. That is Penguin by the Arc. It's a Spanish company. Absolutely lovely juice. Absolutely lovely. It's a 60-40. So is the Pony. 60-40 blend. It vapes like an 80-20. But the flavour is astonishing. It's superb. These lads went all out with their flavours in these. And they come in 100ml bottles. Now, as everybody knows, at the end of this month, these bottles are going to be banned, right? You can only buy 10ml bottles. So, it's going to be making your own. This is the way it's going to go. And look, if we're going to be building our own coils, we may as well be making our own e-liquid. But in here is clapped inceptions. They're just basic, and they were. Oh no, sorry, silly me. They're helter skelters. They've not been finished with 0.5 ribbon wire. So these are just the normal helter skelter coils. I call them helter skelter coils because that's what they look like when you're making the wire. As when that 28 gauge goes in between the Clapton, that's what it looks like. It looks like a helter skelter. And so there you go. I just call it helter skelter, and it's a great coil. Now what you need to do if you're going to be building these coils, you need to get a blowtorch on them after, because they are very springy. So just make life easy on yourself, and don't worry about losing the colours because you're using nichrome or whatever. You can dispense with that, because you can sacrifice that because it's worth it, because the flavour you get off these coils is astonishing. And as you can see, what else have we got? Oh, I haven't got anything else to show. Everything else is put away. Yeah, that's the Elder Scouter, which is dressed. Now you've seen that one. So that's it, ladies and gents. Nothing more to say. So that is how I build my micro aliens. I used the broken tweezers method. The thing literally builds itself. This is in the chuck of the drill, and you've got your alien wire come down, and you just hold on to the alien wire and let this hang free, and it just goes across. Sweet as a nut. And they are so tight all the way across, and there's very few twists in this wire, very few. And this is essentially 2 strands of 28 gauge and 1 strand of 36 gauge, and you can take it right up to, there's, I don't know whether you can see that, there it is. So that's how much I had left of that that alien wire there. That's all I had left. And so I ended up with this lovely, let's just see if we can get it all in the shot. So we've got this whole length. I'll be able to get 1, 2, 4 coils. There's 4 coils in here. And I've done another one earlier on, and it's a shorter one, but the reason why I've done it because I'd never tried this method before, and it worked, and I thought, well, I'm going to do a longer section, because I thought, well, it might just be a fluke, you know, that one went right, it worked well. So I tried the second one on full length, and it literally wrapped itself. And yeah, see, here's the first one I did, and so that's a short one, and I was just seeing if it worked, and it did. And what I found was you can literally do this with your eyes closed. Serious. You just hold on to that wire and let the wire feed through your fingers. You don't even have to hold any pressure on there hardly, and just let it go. And you, if you forget yourself and your hand is here, it's still wrapping. You know, so you don't have to keep your hand in front of you. You know, so if you forget yourself and you suddenly find your hands back here, it's still making the coil. This is an amazing thing. And so yeah, so that's my way now of doing the micro aliens, and these wires are going to be only used for staged heating effect. They won't be used for just making the standard coil builds, because like I said, they spit like buggery, but they don't appear to be spitting that much when you actually turn them into a staged heating coil, and they work really well. So anyway lads, I'm going to call it a day. All the best.